We have heard many times the story of Gajendra Moksha from Srimad Bhagavatam. In this, the king of elephants, Gajendra, while sporting with his wives in the pond, was caught and attacked by a crocodile. So now he was left alone in the pond, and as it is said, the elephant is stronger on the earth, but in the water he fell weak. So the crocodile grabbed his leg, and Gajendra suffered extreme pain due to that. His leg was in the mouth of the crocodile and it was being pulled, and it was bleeding, and he had extreme pain. And this struggle went on for 1,000 years, it is said. All the while he trying to free himself from the mouth of the crocodile, but could not succeed, and this struggle went on for 1,000 years. But by mercy of Lord and by good fortune, he was able to remember from his previous life, from his previous life, Sukriti, he could remember the Lord at that moment, and he cried out to the Lord for help. So the Lord came to his rescue and freed him from that grab of the crocodile. The elephant, the Gajendra, the elephant king, he was in distress, so much in distress, but still, when he remembered the Lord and the Lord arrived, he did not forget to serve the Lord. So it is said that the real bhaktas, they always want to serve the Lord. In whatever condition of distress, they do not seek their own pleasure. Whenever there is a thought of the Lord, their their heart becomes full of joy, gets filled with joy at the thought of the Lord about how to serve Him. So Gajendra was no different. He offered the Lord, he quickly picked a lotus flower from the pond and in his trunk and offered it to the Lord. And he sang some prayers, and that is Gajendra Stuti of the Lord, which is very famous. And reading that, one gets filled with joy and devotion to the Lord. Now, this story, it looks very common since long we have been hearing it, but we don't think of how important this story is, this Leela of the Law. It is a symbolic story. The egoistic soul is the elephant. As long as we are young, healthy, wealthy, we feel many people love us and we become egoistic. We get attached to the family, friends, and thus live in this false representation of our identity. We forget our constitutional position. Constitutional position, forgetfulness means forgetting the Lord, that we belong to Him and not this friends and family and this society. The crocodile symbolically represents death, which ends everything. No one wants to die, isn't it? All want to live. What for? Just we want to, because that is life. We all want to always live. No one wants to die. But we don't know how to always live. Death is imminent at every moment. We don't know that. When we are caught in the jaws of death, there is no one who can save us. Friends flee, relatives disappear. Our own body, fails us miserably. Like the elephant in the story, the only solution from suffering is to turn to the Lord. In the moment of that utter surrender, God rushes to our aid, destroys death, and releases our soul from the clutches of death. And that is liberation or moksha that comes by the grace of the Supreme. Now, liberation or moksha. What is that? Liberation or moksha is nothing but surrender to the Lord and ask Him for service. That is real liberation. The one who is serving the Lord is always liberated in a state of liberation. He doesn't have to worry anything because the Lord cares for him. He doesn't even have to worry whether he will go back to Godhead or not. Just serving the Lord ensures liberation to him even while he's living in this material world. So, the surrender and service is of such importance. The Lord gets bound in the love of the devotee, and that is bhakti. And it is so simple, anyone can practice it. All that is required is willingness to serve in a favorable mood. Only favorable. The Lord can be served only in a favorable mood, not in an unfavorable mood. Hare Krishna.